Hello! So, yeah, back with another video already. I felt like it was time to start another playlist, which means it's time to show some records. And, yeah, there's a bit of a mixture here. It's quite a few things that I've picked up recently, a couple of bits off the shelves, and yeah, I suppose I've been a little bit conscious that it might look like I spend a lot of money on records, and I suppose I do really, but I'm trying to be careful with what I spend, and I do sell a few things on eBay, which sort of helps, and yeah, I've got a good thing going on with a guy who sells records on Tobberden Market, so I sort of regularly take things to him, sort of trade in, so I've always got credit there. And he's always got interesting things, and there's a couple of bits here that I've picked up that I probably wouldn't have bought if it wasn't for having credit, and yeah, it all sort of works for me. But yeah, anyway, I'll work through these, and you can see what you think. So this first one's Can and Flow Motion. This is their 7th LP from '76, I think. And if you've ever seen a Can 7-inch single, the chances are it's this one, which is from this album. This is I Want More, backed with More, which are both on here, and More is probably the one that I would pick really. It's on Virgin. Made me go back to this record, which is Phantom Band. I think they did two records. This is their first. So this is Jackie Liebzit and Roscoe G, a few others, recorded by Connie Plank, and I really rate this. I absolutely love the first song, You Inspired Me, which is just full of optimism and kind of joys of life, really. It's sort of how I've been feeling a bit more recently when the weather's picked up and the sun's started shining, so if you don't know that tune, I would absolutely give it a listen. And yeah, this is a reissue of a library LP. I got this on Tobberden Market, so I recently picked something up on this label. I wasn't aware of it before, which is probably why I sort of looked at this. And yeah, the one that I got previously was, an original worth about a tenner. If you get an original of this, it's £100 plus. And yeah, I can see why. I really, really enjoyed listening to this. It's on Bewith Records. I think this was out last year, 24, sorry. And yeah, it's great. Instrumental, sort of jazzy, funky in places. Bits and bats. Says 15-second drum clavinet intro into flute melody over heavy pounding rhythm, wah-wah guitar solos. Definite ending. It's great. So, yeah, and this the composer Jeff Bastow. I'd not heard of him before, but he's done loads of things along with his two brothers, Trevor and Phil, and they're all from an area of West Yorkshire called Spen Valley, which is somewhere I'm very familiar with. And I got this Love Sounds Ebb Tide. Now, I think this is a record I'm more familiar with, which you might have seen. So this is Tony Hatch, and I guess this is the follow-up to this first one. And it's a sort of easy listening, sort of loungy. But it's got a little bit of a library feel in places. Like this first track, What Are You Doing for the Rest of Your Life? I really rate that. I mean, this is a cheap record. But yeah, pleased to get that. It's on Pi. And I got this Brian Ferry single, Don't Stop the Dance. This is from '85. This is a sort of 12-inch remix. And I really like it. It comes with a poster. What I'd really like to find is there's a Psych Magic remix of this song, which is probably what I've listened to most online, which was out about 10 years ago, 2013 maybe. And that's tricky to find now. There was only 1,000 of them, and it goes for a bit of money, whereas this was very cheap, obviously. And yeah, this was a real find, to be honest, because I didn't know this record existed. So this is Ralph Myers and the Jack Heron Band, and this is their debut LP, 2003, 2004, 2003, and I mean, this is really difficult to get the record. And it's just one of those. Probably because it's so difficult to track down. I'd really like to find it. But yeah, this is a 4-track EP from 2001, and it's got 2 tracks from the album, Nikita, and I think it's Savannah. Yeah, 2 other tracks that aren't on the LP, and there's only 1,000 of these, and yeah, all 4 tracks are great. It's a 12-inch version. Yeah, and this was the first band that I saw at Glastonbury in 2004. Got a vivid memory of my mate Nick getting everybody organised and to the main stage to see these, who were the first band on, which, you know, generally no one's there, are they, for the first band, and can't really remember much about it. I think the last band that I saw on that stage that year was James Brown. But yeah, this is like a nice custom label. Yeah, this is early 2000s, sort of Norwegian, jazzy, housey, loungy, sort of electronica, really. This kind of compares it to Röyksopp. But yeah, I love this. And then yeah, I got this single by The Knife. I really like The Knife. You Take My Breath Away is from their second LP, which is this one, Deep Cuts, which has got Heartbeats on it. And yeah, this has got a load of remixes, really, which I've increasingly enjoyed listening to. So yeah, pleased to get that. And then yeah, I went into a place I call in occasionally, and it's generally just got all rock and pop and things that aren't too exciting, but it had a sort of smallish dance collection in. And I don't really know too much about dance music, and you know, I know the things that I like and what to look out for, and yeah, so I just picked up a few things. So there was this early Warp release, the Step, Yeah You. So this is WAP 8. So I think this is the 8th release. Now, I didn't realise, I ain't got lots of things on Warp, but it turns out this is like a collaboration between a couple of guys and a female vocalist. To be honest, listening to this, I would not have guessed it was on Warp. I would have not guessed it was from 91. It sounds quite contemporary to me, really. Just sort of quite percussive, and the vocal is the most prominent part. But yeah, anyway, it's actually a collaboration with 2 fellas from these 2 releases, Outer Rhythm. This was one I got recently, WAP 1. Sweet Exorcist, Test 1. This is the 3rd release on Warp. This is the one that features Richard Kirk from Cabaret Voltaire. This one you see quite a lot, I think. But yeah, I really like this. Yeah, I think it's just the A-side track that I like, Yeah You. And then, yeah, so early Warp is a bit of a safe bet, as is R&S Records from sort of late 80s, early 90s, and this is from 91. This is Rave Signal 3, which is CJ Boland, it turns out. I'm not sure I realised that at the time. And this is just full-on techno from 91, and yeah, it's really good. And this was, yeah, I didn't know anything about this. So this is Edwards and Armani. To be honest, out of the 3 dance tunes that I've picked up here, this is the one that I probably enjoy the most. This tune, Desert Silence, is more like a ambient techno track, really. You could sort of zone out to that one quite easily, really. Yeah, and a few other dance things that I randomly picked up. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes when I'm looking at things that I don't know, like it gets to the point where you just got to look things up, because otherwise you're just going to grab everything, and most of it's rubbish. And then occasionally you just think, I'm getting this, whatever. And this was one of them. and basically because the track is called The Experience of Taking a Step into Someone's Dream. And I just thought that this is going to be interested in it. By a band called Evolution, or an artist called Evolution. And yeah, it turns out it's great. It's about 12 or 13 minutes long. It's from 93. And yeah, it's sort of psychedelic, ambient, acidy, techno. And yeah, I'm keeping it. Yeah, similar sort of took a chance really on this one. This was another artist I'd not heard of. Mephisto Odyssey, I think it is. Pretty difficult to read. And they're from San Francisco. This is their third release from 95. Sort of has them down as a house group. I think when I looked this up, it sort of said future jazz. And yeah, future jazz is a genre that's kind of as wide as just jazz itself, as far as I can tell. But yeah, I mean, this features sort of, you know, instrumentation, samples, and electronica, and like, yeah, I really rate it. I think it's the track, The Motive, that I'm into. And yeah, this is another one from Todd Modern Market. So this is another reissue. This is Zion Train, Great Sporting Moments in Dub. So this is a dub release from 93. Yeah, I think I just looked this up, and someone had said it's like one of the best releases on the label. And yeah, I mean, I like it. I don't think it's going to go down as one of my favourite dub albums that I've ever heard, but I'm certainly keeping it. This tune, Globetrotter, is the one that I've gone for. Yeah, pleased to have it. And then, yeah, this was a random pickup, really. So this is Annie Anxiety Bandes. She also goes under the name Little Annie. This is on One Little Indian. I think it's from 87. Produced by, or part produced and mixed by Adrian Sherwood. And yeah, she went on to release quite a few things on U Sound. Yeah, and this was in the cheap bin for some reason. Yeah, really pleased with it. Janet Kay, Closer to You. This is from 79, so quite an early release for her. I've got a few of her singles now, and yeah, I'm keeping them all. I think this is an extended. I don't know. There's like the vocal parts the first half of the track maybe, and then it's just sort of instrumental after that, and yeah, it's really good. And then yeah, I got this Ann Peebles single. It was a bit of an impulse thing, really. I Can't Stand the Rain, and the B-side is I've Been There Before. So the A-side, so this is from 73 actually, and it's from this album, which was out in 74. The B-side is from her LP before that, which was out in 72, I think. But yeah, I really like Ann Peebles. And yeah, it's an excuse to show this record, really, which is Simon Park. And this is from 75. Now, I would go as far as to say this record is pretty terrible. But it's got a version of I Can't Stand the Rain, which I think is really good. So I'm going to do a needle drop on that, and yeah, you can see what you think.